Hi everyone, welcome to today's video. This video is titled Phoenix FD Fluid Simulation, and we're going to explore how fluid behaves along a terrain with perforations. So we begin by going to the Create tab, and under Standard Primitives, select a cylinder. Now that I've created a cylinder, we're going to position it directly above the surface. And apply Edit Poly. Once that is done, open the drop down in Edit Poly and select Polygon. Next, we're going to select the base polygon, and we're going to assign a material ID. Let's set this as 6. And then without deselecting, hit Ctrl Inverse to select the rest of the polygons, and we'll set this ID as 5. Next, hold Shift and select the entire cylinder. And hold Shift again and drag to create a clone. Right now we have 2 cylinders that are directly positioned above the terrain, and we're going to rename this as emitters. Now that we have created our fluid emitters, or otherwise known as our fluid source, we're going to create a box to contain our geometry. And within this box is where the fluid simulation will happen. So going back to the Create tab and opening the drop-down menu, we're going to select a Phoenix FD and Liquid Simulation. Next, create a box roughly surrounding the geometry, and then make sure that it wraps around the geometry. You can use the parameters here to adjust the size of the box. You want to make sure that it has a certain height, and also adjust the X and Y. It's important to position it well. And also ensure that the box intersects the base of the cylinder so as to contain the liquid source. Once that is done, we have to try to increase the cell resolution. So scroll down to Grid and increase resolution to at least 20,000. Now that's done, we can focus on creating the liquid source. So going back to the Create panel and selecting Helpers, we want to make sure that we're in Phoenix FD and select Liquid Source. Drag out the liquid source. And we can set noise, or alternatively set the motion velocity. And once we are satisfied with this, it's important to set the polygon ID to 6 to ensure that the liquid is only emitted from the base of the cylinders and not the entire cylinder. Once that is done, select the liquid source again, and it's time to add the emitter nodes. Now that we have set up our simulation, click on the grid that we have created just now. Scroll all the way up to Simulation and select Start. And fluid is being emitted from the base of the cylinder, but within the enclosure of the box. I'm going to let the simulation run until it reaches 100. Alternatively, at any time you may pause the simulation and select the view that is desired, and we can do test renders to see if to see how the fluid is performing.